Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sensation and Perception. So this is going to be the first of what I believe will be 3 videos. If I forget something, I may add on a fourth to fill in the gaps. But this is the first of what I hope to be 3 videos introducing you to the class. So in this first video, I'm just going to introduce myself and the class and some preliminary information about the class. In the next video, I'm going to talk about the assessments and the assignments. In the following video, the last video, hopefully, I'm going to be posting, I'm going to be talking about the policies for class. Okay, so let's get to it. I am Dr. Adam Randell. You can call me Dr. Adam or Dr. Randell, whichever you prefer. However, if you decide to call me Dr. Randell, please call me Dr. Randell and not Dr. Randall. Because, well, one's my name and the other's not. Now, if we only talk via email, not ever going to be a problem. But if you ever want to schedule a office meeting via the likes of Zoom, then you'll know for that time. All right. So I'm going to share my screen with you as we cover a few things. All right, so first, there at the top, you can see all the information about the class. We don't have any scheduled meeting times or anything like that, but you are expected to keep up with the pace of the class because you have assignments on certain weeks. And again, we'll talk about the due dates for those assignments in the next video. But you are expected to keep pace with the video. So the class is not what some classes call self-paced, all right? You will have to complete the class at the rate it's scheduled here in the syllabus. Okay, and again, if you don't have this up, pause this video, go to Blackboard, download this syllabus. You can find it either in the course syllabus link or in the Start Here section. All right, you can find it in either of those places. But if you don't have it, pause me and go get syllabus. Once you have it up, play the video, and follow along. Now, here you have all the information about me. Now that I think about it, I don't know that the link is actually in there. So after I make these videos, I will verify that my room, my office, my digital office is linked there. All right. But again, I don't have established office hours for Cameron. I will say that I have office hours because I'm a professor, full-time professor at UCO. I only adjunct with Cameron because I love you guys. Cameron has a sweet spot in my heart. Apparently, I was trying to combine spot and heart. Anyway, so I don't have established office hours, but if you wanted to meet, you could probably stand a pretty good chance of catching me if you wanted to meet between 11 and 1 on Mondays and 12 and 1 on Tuesdays. Outside of those times, you probably want to email me and set up an appointment. Okay. Now you can read the course description and the program objectives and course objectives, but I want to bring your attention to this, the course textbook. This is what it looks like. All right. Now the student version doesn't have this blue and red trimming, but this is what your book looks like, and you must, here, let me unshare so you can see it bigger. This is what your book looks like. All right, again, without the blue and red trim. You need the textbook. All right, you cannot pass this class without the textbook, and that'll become very obvious as to why that's the case in the assignments video. Okay. And that, my friends, is it for this introductory video. Let me end this video with echoing something that I wrote in the welcome message to this class. And that is, why are you, as a psychology major or a psychology minor, or you taking a psychology class, why are we learning about what will feel like anatomy? Well, because many people seem to believe that, and falsely, I might say, that the mind is something separate from the body. They're not. The mind and body are the same. all right? And everything the mind does depends on inputs, all right? In order for you to think, you must have information input. And information is input via sensation. Also, what we perceive is a mental act. All right, what we perceive is a mental interpretation of that output. All right, there are things that we consider some people consider very important to our lives that don't exist outside of the brain, which mental processes is one of the things psychology studies. All right, for example, music, sound. Neither of these exist outside of the human brain. All right, color doesn't exist outside of the human brain. All right, so now every animal has their own neural interpretations of these sensory inputs. All right, but if we're going to study human behavior and mental processes, which is what psychology studies, we've got to study the information that's input, and we've got to study how our computer, our brain, processes that input, and how that processing of that input leads to what we perceive. How is it that differences in the wavelength of light are perceived as blue, red, green, what have you? How is it that certain speeds of changes in air pressure, which is all sound is physically, how is that perceived as the latest song in the top 40 that you love so much, right? So how is it that our brain takes this input and converts it into something that we perceive? That's something psychology is interested in. In fact, the field of psychology began as sensation and perception. All right, very often people think that think that the psychology is all about clinical psychology. It's all about mental health work. By no means is that the case. In fact, clinical work didn't become a part of psychology for 20 to 30 years after psychology began. So compared to sensation and perception, clinical psychology is the new kid on the block. All right, sensation and perception is where psychology got its start. All right, so in this class you will learn about this classic and still very vital and active field of psychology known as sensation and perception. And so honestly, if you've ever wondered why illusions work, how magicians are successful, if you've ever wondered why you missed certain things when you think you should have been able to see that. In fact, you hear so many times, you hear people say, well, they should have seen that. Should they have? In this class, you will start getting to understand some of the processes that would lead us to miss some things or misperceive things or make mistakes. All right. So I hope that you come to enjoy the information in this class as much as I do. All right. This is probably my second or third favorite class to teach, next only to when I get to teach social psychology, and then sometimes evolutionary psychology. I don't get to teach that very often. So where that one comes in the ranks, I don't know. But because those are my two favorites, you will probably feel inklings of those two classes and the content from those two fields sprinkled through this one. All right, guys, that's it for this video. As always, if you have any questions, and this is basically my tagline at this point, if you have any questions, send them my way. If not, have a great one, and I'll see you next time.